In conclusion to the video I did with Pam, I'd like to go over what REBT, or Rational Emotive Behavioral Therapy, is, and kind of discuss how it was used with the symptoms that Pam was suffering from. Okay, so the symptoms that Pam was suffering from was sadness, despair, crying. She had no energy. She felt, like I said, despair. So, as we stated, REBT, or Rational Emotive Behavioral Therapy, focuses on changing beliefs by learning to dispute a person's initial automatic irrational thought. It's triggered by an activating event. By irrational, it means self-defeating and destructive. So the ABCDE of REBT is: according to Rational Emotive Behavioral Therapy, if a person's B, or belief, about the A activating event is rigid, absolute, fictional, and dysfunctional, then the C, emotional and behavioral consequences, are likely to be self-defeating and destructive. Alternately, if a person's belief, or B, is flexible and constructive, then the C, emotional and behavioral consequences, are likely to be constructive and self-hoping. So with Pam, her irrational beliefs about the activating event A. Her A, the activating event, was that she was fired. Her B, her belief about what happened with the activating event, is that she would never have any friends again. So that led her to C, her behavioral consequences of sadness and despair. If we could teach Pam to dispute D, her interpretations and assumptions, in her case it was, if we taught her to dispute the idea that she had no friends ever, she will never ever have another friend again. So we had her go back to dispute that thought by coming up with things that make her irrational belief not real, not true. So Pam made note that there were several of her friends that had all reached out to her. So that if she could dispute her irrational belief that she would never have any friends again, that led to her consequences of being depressed and sad. So, if we could get Pam, when she has that trigger thought, that automated response, that automated trigger, if we could help her dispute that, if through the therapeutic process, Pam could be taught to recognize it, stop, and dispute that belief, then she would have like a whole new outcome. She would have new consequences, or E, a new philosophy, because it's ABCDE. What I learned from doing this role play is that it is a lot of work. A lot goes into being a therapist, and much more than it appears. In the TVs, you see the therapist going, oh yeah, tell me more, oh, that's interesting. However, in real life, it's so much more than that. It's so hard. It takes focus, attention, the ability to use like meta thinking. So to be there with the client and be attuned to the client at the same time as the meta thinking, working that client through the process. It's incredibly challenging. This whole process was indeed an eye-opening experience. So I hope you guys learn a little bit about REBT, rational emotive behavioral therapy, and can find a way to use it, because it's pretty interesting. Thank you so much, and be well.